All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So Ann Wilson, she's got a new song out. Her sister is coming out with a solo album. Not sure if Heart has a future. I guess there is an offer on the table for the sisters to fire up the old band again and get it back out there on the road. With all this lockdown stuff still happening, there's no clear date where things will start to get back to normal. And some people are talking about the new normal and so forth. And a lot of people aren't going to want to go to a concert, if they can't yell, shout, and breathe and so forth. It's an activity. Well, let me rephrase that. There are some fans that won't want to go. There are others that will be good and stay in their seat and do what the supposed folks who run these facilities or local officials want them to do. And but there'll be other people that just won't do it. And especially if you're paying a high price to get in, you want to have a good time, maybe have a couple of adult beverages while you're there. Anyway, let's get back to Ann Wilson. She's got a brand new song out. It's called Tender Heart. The clip, which features American figure skater Gracie Gold, can be seen on YouTube. Tender Heart came out of a personal struggle, says Wilson, but quickly evolved into a greater, more universal meaning. I sense that somebody is getting on a soapbox. We, as the human race, do you ever think that you're not part of the human race anymore? Seriously, just think about this for a moment. Like, the stuff you see around you makes you so embarrassed for the people that just are like lemmings and they all walk in lockstep and do the same thing. And then you start to think that you're crazy. And then they call you crazy for not following them in lockstep. Rock and roll used to be the people going in the other direction. It was culturally incorrect, we'll say that, back in the old days. Now, rock stars are creating the same narratives that you'll hear mostly by people who want to have control over you and tell you what to think. And I just find it really weird and really ironic at this point that rock stars, especially as they get older, they become in sync with the prevailing narrative around them, and they don't question authority at all, which is the whole premise, especially in the punk rock era. But, in the 60s, question authority. Remember, don't trust anybody over 30 years old, and now it's like, let's just go along. Anyway, she talks about how humanity is coming to terms with uncomfortable, heartbreaking, and terrifying truths. I wonder what the terrifying truths are. This song is for the soul whose heart is blindsided by reality, but is still soft and innocent. I kind of like the idea that it just came out of a personal struggle and not to sort of project it onto the human race, because you can do that with pretty much anything. But she says, I hope people will identify with this song and feel they are not alone. All right, fair enough. The song itself is a direct copy of a song by the Manhattans called Kiss and Say Goodbye. I'm talking about the melody. I'm talking about the general flavor and feeling of the song. It sounds like a soul tune from the 70s, and it's in the same key. I played the songs next to each other, and that intro, you're thinking that that spoken word part that you knew when you were a kid, at least I kind of knew it. I remember when this song was on the radio, and the great Philly soul sound, these guys always had a story to tell. Oftentimes, they would just speak the words at the beginning, and they'd set up the rest of the song. Have You Seen Her by the Chi-Lites? They do the same thing, and it's one of those classic things, and it's definitely something that went out of style in the 70s, but it's kind of cool. I don't like it on every song, but I definitely am a big fan of the Manhattans. They had My Last Call song in the 80s. It's a tune called Shining Star, which got everybody to the dance floor for the slow song, and then everybody who didn't do slow dance went to the bar, and they ordered their last drink of the night. So, great band, the Manhattans, and this song will make you think of the Manhattans. She sounds good on the track. It just is too much of a direct, I don't want to say rip-off, but it's very, very similar, and you'll have to judge for yourself. I don't think I'm making too much of it. I like to hear new music by older artists, but originality does count for something, and hence this is why I think we need some fresh and new talent who represent people, maybe in my age category. Different bands, people from the Frontiers music label and other places where I often get some new music with some fresh sounds to it. So anyway, not a bad song, just a song that really copies another song, and it's interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have comments, you're a patron, or you'd like to become one, it's $1 a month. Hit me up with a message over on Patreon and tell me what you think of this.